So what can I do to like clean up this stuff to make it look good? So on all of these spots where you have your audio going, there's a clip. See how this audio transitions here? You always want to put a little cross dissolve on there that's just really short in one frame. Sometimes you'll hear a little pop or it won't be perfect
like,
right there.
You go every.
So there's a little in there.
It's like.
You always want to like listen for little tiny stuff like that. You can look in here and see what that is. You can see that that little tick that we're hearing is right here. So maybe I just take this audio and move it over a little bit. Make this one a little longer to get rid of that little tick. And if I right click, I can do apply default transitions and it'll put a little fade in there and I make it shorter or longer. I grab the edge of the fade like this. See how I can grab it? Make it shorter. It just cleans that up. Now we're not going to hear that little chick in there.
Like, you go.
See how that's perfectly clean now? So I want to kind of go through and make sure all of my transitions are perfect. Like, let's listen to this one.
I can get up and go do it again the next day. I don't know. Just
There's like a little thing right there.
go do it again the next day. I don't.
So you want to try to get rid of, like, clean up your stuff so you don't have little things like that going on in your audio. Just makes things sound way better. So I'm just going to move this audio track over a little bit. Take this one and put a little fade on it. I right click and put that on there.
I don't know.
So now that little click is gone. So you want to make sure that you're like doing what you can to make your audio really clean. Now another way of putting fades on and cross and transitions is you don't have to just right click. Another way to do it is up here on your effects. If you go up to effects right here, these are audio transitions and these are video transitions. So if I want to go from this to this and I want to put that little dissolve, I go to audio transitions, crossfade, and I can take these little fades and stick them up, just drag them on there. It's the same as like doing it the right click. Does that make sense? You just go up to these menus up here, okay? So these are your audio transitions, how you transition between audio stuff. And these are your video transitions. Let's say right here, we didn't want to do a hard cut. Let's say we want to do a dissolve right here.
And the next day, I don't know.
I could go to my video transitions and go to dissolve and do cross dissolve and stick it on here. And this is what a cross dissolve looks like.
Up and go do it again the next day. I don't know. Just being on stage is.
See that? It's a different kind of transition. It looks a little slicker. It looks a little different.
Up and go do it again the next day. I don't know. Just being on.
It's not bad. It's actually kind of cool. You can make it shorter.
Do it again the next day. I don't know. Just.
You can make it even shorter if you want.
Do it again the next day. I don't know.
See how it's changing? What about if we put music under it? Some kind of music under this thing, right? Because it's a little dry without music. It's okay, but there's your piano music, right?
Being a dancer is like you go every day.
So my music's still a little loud versus what she's saying, so I drop it down a little bit. See, I'm dropping the volume there. I'm just grabbing it, pulling it down.
Being a dancer is like you go every day, you put all your work and effort into it, and then the days that your leg is shaking, even though it's as high as it can go, you have to make it go higher. Even though your muscles hurt every night, you have to.
So then what could we do in the end? We come to the end.
Stage is like, it's like home.
Well, we need something, right? We want to do something at the end. Maybe like a graphic for our company. Let's stick like a graphic in there, right? The Good Feet Store logo. And you always want to put things on different tracks, right? So I don't want to take my graphics and stick them down here with my picture. And I don't want my music like somehow up here with my dialogue. I want my music track down here. My voice is right here on track 1. And the same thing with picture. Like I have this empty track up here now. So I want to put my graphic up here. Like don't crowd everything onto one video track right here. So my logo is going to be right here. So we're going to go to this Good Feet logo.
It's like home.
So we go right here. This transition's a little bumpy, like it just cuts to our logo, right?
It's like home.
Not amazing, not ideal. So let's do a little transition to make this logo come up a little different. She fades out as my logo fades in. So remember, we go right here, video transitions. I want to just fade her off to black. I can fade her off to black like this.
Like, it's like home.
And then we can maybe make this logo dissolve up from black. Okay.
It's like home.
See how much slicker that looks? See how much like cleaner and slicker that looks?
Sage is like, it's like home.
But we're not seeing her say like home. We're losing her face at that moment. So I want to stretch this out and I want to see her face as much as I can. Maybe move this graphic over a little bit so we see her say like home. It's starting to feel slick a little bit. Maybe I go in here, I do a little audio transition so my audio fades off too, remember? So I don't just click and cut out right here. I do a little audio transition. I do a little fade off right here. I make it short so I don't lose what she's saying. I just have a little fade there so it's a little smoother.
It's like home.
Okay, so now we're kind of just working on this ending to get it to fade off and look really good.
It's like home.
Then we're going to come to the end. So let's have this logo fade out. Also to go to black, right? But have it go real slow. And also our music should do that. So I go to audio transitions, fade out.
Home.
And that audio fade is a little short. I want the music to fade out gradually. And it feels like the logo is up too long, right? So you see what I'm doing here?
It's like home.
So you see how slick that feels now? But I'm like looking at this Good Feet logo and I'm going, it's pretty big in the frame. Like it's pretty big, right? What if I want to make something smaller? Like, see how it's like right to the edge right here? It's not really proportional. It looks like a little bit not slick to me. So we're on our logo, double click, go to motion. See this scale right here? Makes things smaller and bigger. That's a little slicker. That looks a little bit cleaner to me. But let's say I want to move it up and down. This position right here, I can click over this and move things right and left. Okay, now you're like, oh, what happens if you do that on a picture? Let's say we're right here and we're like, let's say we want to go in closer on her, tighter. Double click on it, motion, scale. We can go up. We can start zooming in on her. So let's say we'll push a little bit, go 25. Now we're super tight on her face at the end, right?
It's hurt every night. You have to get back, get up and go do it again the next day. I don't know, just being on stage is like, it's like home.